The chief social work advisor, white. Almost every trade union in this country headed by people who are white. In the Scottish Government, every Director General is white. Every chair of every public body is white.
Welcome back to 3,590 beauty subscribers. We're nearly at the 3,600 mark, and then 4,000. We're definitely growing, and the 80% of the viewers who are not subscribed, hopefully we can earn it today. Now let's look at this video today. It is, yes, as you could have seen in that video before this, yes, white hate is back again, all right? So more and more movies are being made about hating white people. More and more movies are being made about hating men. More and more movies are being made about how white people are just bad, right? But in reality, these sorts of attacks are going on more and more. And this is like a serious thing, okay? How many kids have you seen recently where it's one little white kid against a whole big group of people from other races or whatever, and they are being attacked, and you can hear it in the video saying, oh, get the white kid, you know? So it is definitely a race attack. And the funny thing is, you don't really see these attacks on the news all the time. Only the ones where the kid actually dies. But if you see any of these sorts of attacks, I can't actually show you it because of the violence in it. But I'll just show you the start of the video here. As you can see, this young kid is being approached. I don't know what he did yet again. Does it warrant being beaten up by a big group of kids? No. Obviously, there's ways to handle it at school instead of videoing it in a big group of people going along. So as you can see here, he obviously doesn't want anything. He doesn't want to fight. And then you can, after that, it's just about, 10 kids beating on him. All right, like beating him senseless. And it's just ridiculous. It's at Eagle Ridge Middle School. Very sad, stupid that this happens. But the one thing where I'm going with this today is I blame the freaking mainstream media. All right. I blame them nearly wholly. I blame our stupid governments for pushing this crap, for saying that one race is responsible for freaking the bad things and everything to do with the country, even though they are from that race, even though they are trying to help that community. It's just a big cop-out, and it's literally made life so much harder for white people in America that I've seen in certain communities. I'm not saying everywhere. Look, I'm not saying, oh, the whole world's against white people. I'm not. But what I'm saying is there's open racism against white people, and it is accepted. It is on TV. It is on the literal news. There's, the late night talk shows. They talk about it. It's fine to make a white racist joke, but don't you dare say anything else about other races, because, yeah, you'll be held accountable, and especially if you're white. But if you're from another race, it's kind of accepted. But let's have a look at this one here as well. So this is, well done, Scotland Prime Minister Humza Yousaf. He complains that there are too many white people in power in Scotland. Scotland, yes, the country we like to think of that it's freaking cold, and majority, I believe, like 90-something% white people, yes. But no, there are too many white people in power, even though he is literally a freaking Middle Eastern immigrant who is the Prime Minister, the strongest person in power in Scotland, and he is complaining. Let's have a listen to him, to Mr. Wokey Prime Minister himself.
The Lord Justice Clerk, white. Every High Court judge, white. The Lord Advocate, white. The Solicitor General, white. The Chief Constable, white. Every Deputy Chief Constable, white. Every Assistant Chief Constable, white. The Head of the Law Society, white.
Let me guess, white.
The Head of the Faculty of Advocates, white. Every Prison Governor, white. And not just Justice. The Chief Medical Officer, white. The Chief Nursing Officer, white. The Chief Veterinary Officer, white.
So you get the point. All right, well done, Scotland, well done. You are now going in the footsteps of Germany. You are now going in the footsteps of Ireland. You are now going in the footsteps of Sweden, where you see constant race attacks against the local populace, and nothing is done about it. Well done, UK. Well done to England. Well done to America. Same thing is happening there. Justice has fallen in the wayside. As I stated with a little short video this morning, was Pittsburgh's police officers between 3 to 7 o'clock in Pittsburgh. All right, so it's a lot of people that live there. It's a big city. They're only going to have 20 on-guard police officers between 3 to 7 in the morning. They are going to have a lot of police stations closed, but it gets better. They're going to have phones there at the office outside, so it takes you straight to 911. So if you have an emergency, you can ring them, and they will not respond to anything that's not an emergency. So if there's theft, if someone just got robbed or something, they're not going to respond to it. You're going to have to fill out a form over the phone, blah, 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 blah. That is where we've gone. And people try to say, oh, you know, it's this and that. It's these people are not looking out for the best interest of the community and of the populace in that country. This guy literally attacking a race because there are too many of them in power. Imagine going to the Middle East and saying, oh, there are too many Middle Eastern people in power. Imagine going to Asia saying there's too many Asians in power. What the freaking heck are you trying to say, Hamza? What are you trying to say? And I'm getting sick of it, to be honest, that white people in Europe, in freaking Europe, all right? Let's have a look. Scotland, population by race. Let's have a freaking look. So yeah, 91.8% of Scottish people are white, all right? So you can look, 4.2% were recorded as Polish, Irish, yet again, white. So you're looking at 96% are white. And he is getting angry that there are white people in power. Oh no. Oh no, Hamza. What are you going to do? Try overthrow the freaking country? And this is the thing, right? We've been over this in the past where there's a white lady that won Miss Japan. There was outrage. There's a white girl that won Miss Zimbabwe. And there was massive outrage about that with the African community in Africa. They're not happy about that. And especially in America, the African American community are not happy about that. But at the same time, it's not the first white girl that's won it in the past. But would it be okay if Scotland, if all the white people were angry that Hamza is in power, he's the prime minister? I mean, 0.9% of your country is not white. So how dare he be in power, right? How did that ever happen? And they try to say that, yeah, these countries are very racist, right? What a freaking joke. Let's have a listen to a white person saying how white people are racist. And you let me know what you think about this here person. The epitome of a 2024 freaking male in these woke cities.
Racism is not a choice. You were not taught to be racist. You, fellow white person, like everybody else, were born into a world that you did not create. Everything you inherited, whether biologically or socially, was not your choice. And that's the same thing with racism. We were born into a racial caste system in which white-bodied individuals are the oppressor class. Whether you wanted that designation or not, that's the system that you and I were born into. We had no choice in the matter. However, once you become aware of how things are, once you've become educated about your role in how things are, then you have a choice. Do you want to stand firm and uphold the system you've inherited, fighting with anyone and everyone that brings up privilege, equity, justice, racial oppression? Or do you want things to change? More often than not, those of us that are white are so preoccupied with trying to separate ourselves from the group to justify and set ourselves apart as the good or safe white person. But when you live in a racial caste system, there's no such thing. We're all complicit in upholding the system until we start pushing against it and fight to dismantle it like our lives depend on it, because they do.
Yes, modern day rambling, right? That doesn't even make freaking sense. But anyway, let me know what you think about this prime minister attacking white people. What do you think about this whole kind of white hatred going on at the moment around the world? Let me know what you think. If you're white, let me know what you think. How do you feel? Especially if you live in these countries where these attacks are happening more and more and more. Let me know below in the comments. And where do you think it all leads, right? Where do you think it all leads? But I just think any race, you should not be freaking attacked because of your race. Especially not in 2024 with all the freaking evidence we have that majority of people are not racist. With all the evidence we have that people are good people. But yet, here we still are. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you on the next video.